In the quiet autumn of 2019, in a small town in Pennsylvania, something extraordinary was found. It wasn't a treasure chest, it wasn't buried gold, and it wasn't a secret bunker. It was a wooden box covered in dust, cobwebs, and decades of forgotten memories. The box had a faded label on top, "Property of U.S. Army, World War II." No date, no name, just these 3 lines. The man who opened it was Walter Simmons, a retired postal worker. At age 78, Walter had lived all his life in this town. His own father had served in World War II. Walter was sorting through his attic, cleaning out old boxes for a yard sale, when he stumbled upon this strange wooden crate. The attic was dark, filled with old furniture and crates labeled "Keep," "Old Photos," and "Belongings of A. Simmons." Yet this box looked different. It was heavier. It felt important. Walter dusted it off and tugged at the rusty latch. It creaked open. Inside were folded letters with brittle paper, old black and white photographs, a rusted dog tag, a set of dried flowers, and a sealed envelope marked "Do not open until 2000. Everything in the box seemed to freeze time. Walter's heart raced. The letters were yellowed, dated June 1945, weeks after World War II ended. That was impossible. Why was there a box with war belongings sealed for over 60 years and never claimed? Walter took the box downstairs. He sat in his living room, holding the first letter in his trembling hands. The handwriting was elegant but hurried. June 16, 1945. My dearest Elizabeth, if you are reading this, I am gone, but not dead. I write this letter to you in secret from deep inside Germany. The mission I am on will not let me return home, yet I cannot let this remain a secret. Walter's eyes widened. This box was not just personal belongings. It was evidence of something the world was never supposed to know. He looked at the envelope marked "Do not open until 2000. The year was now 2019. Walter took a deep breath and opened it. Inside, he found a single photograph and a typed note. The photograph showed 3 soldiers smiling in front of a destroyed European town. On the back of the photo, written in faded ink, "Operation Silent Dawn, initiated June 18, 1945. The typed note below read, "If this falls into the wrong hands, the consequences could undo the peace we fought so hard to achieve. Only open after 2000. Walter's hands shook. Operation Silent Dawn? He had never heard of it. He grabbed his laptop and typed the words into a search engine. Nothing came up. No Wikipedia, no history, no documents, no archives. Nothing. This operation, this secret mission, was completely erased from history. Walter knew he had to share this. He reached out to a local historian, Dr. Emily Turner, a professor who spent years researching World War II. When she received the photos and the letters, her hands trembled. This changes everything," she whispered. Emily dug deeper. She discovered that in April 1945, as World War II was ending in Europe, Allied forces had discovered a hidden Nazi-era research facility buried beneath a German city. Documents suggested that this facility was not weapons development. It was something far more secretive, a psychological warfare program designed to manipulate the post-war world order. But before any record could be filed, it was wiped from Allied archives. Only personal belongings remained, sealed in that box. Walter and Emily decided to investigate further. They traveled to national archives, military libraries, and even dug through German intelligence declassified files. What they found was shocking. whispers of an experiment codenamed Silent Dawn, a covert mission involving selected soldiers tasked with carrying out a silent psychological operation on European civilians. This wasn't a battlefield mission. This was mind strategy, hidden from public knowledge. Walter and Emily realized this box was evidence of a mission that was meant to be erased, a mission that could rewrite history. The questions now were many. What was Silent Dawn? Who were the soldiers involved? And why was this box sealed until after the year 2000? The deeper they dug, the stranger the story became. Walter and Emily traveled to the only known location tied to the soldiers in the photograph, a small village in central Germany, a place once destroyed, now rebuilt. They met with local archivists who handed them a single document from 1945 marked confidential and almost destroyed by time. It read, Operation Silent Dawn, Psychological Containment Program. Under direction of Allied command, select soldiers embedded into key European urban zones to observe and analyze civilian behavior post-WWI and report findings directly to Allied intelligence. This mission shall remain classified until 2000. A flood of questions washed over Emily. This was not war strategy. This was behavior modification intelligence. In other words, history had been rewritten, and the public was never told. Walter's breath caught when the document mentioned names, including one name that matched the dog tag from the box. It was Private Jonathan Hale, service number 843-21-5749. Jonathan's name was in no official database. He did not exist. And now his private belongings were in Walter's living room. Walter and Emily returned home feeling the weight of discovery. Emily cross-referenced other archived communiques and found mentions of post-war psychological projection, a strategy used to stabilize cities devastated by battle. But the program was supposed to be humanitarian. Yet none of this was ever publicly acknowledged. Had the world been told, it might have changed public perception about the war. For centuries, people remembered battles, strategies, politics, but not the silent operations that shaped peace itself. Emily reached out to military historians. Some scoffed, others were afraid to comment, but a few admitted they had heard rumors, but had no proof. And now, here it was in Walter's hands. The box had unlocked a part of history that was hidden for decades. Walter stared at the letters again. The words of Private Hale echoed in his mind. If this falls into the wrong hands. But what was wrong about truth? Walter and Emily were faced with a choice. Keep it secret? Publish? Tell the world? They chose truth. The files were uploaded to historical archives. Scholars began analyzing them. Videos were made. Discussions opened. For the first time, the public learned about Silent Dawn. History rewrote itself. The world realized that the war had ended in 1945, but peace was crafted long after, not just through treaties, but through silent minds. And Walter's dusty old box, hidden in an attic for decades, had changed how millions understood history.